Is one of you on the iPhone? Who's on iPhone? No? Okay. Okay.
I don't know who the iPhone is.
Okay, so I am recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't forget. Okay, so welcome to tonight's training.
I'm so nervous.
You're going to do amazing. And I was just at Jessie's house, and I was going like galore over her scent crates. Like, she is so talented. So I told her, you have to get ready for a training because she is kicking butt with like all her extras. Like, she makes them like interactive, but I'll leave that for her training. But tonight we are having an amazing training by our very own Kelli Welling. Do I say like your last name right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I like to mispronounce people's names. Hey. About Facebook parties. So I know for me, my Facebook parties are not all that great. So I'm excited to hear her training because she's kicking butt with these. So look at Ashton ready with her notepad. Look at her. She's like,
oh, it's my planner, but yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, she's like ready. We're ready.
Look at her in her Starbucks.
So Kelli, if you will start us off with your training, but if you will tell us a little bit about yourself, like why you started, just in case anybody doesn't know.
All right, my name's Kelli. I've been with Scentsy for almost a year and a half now. I originally started just for the discount. That's all I cared about. I told sponsor, that's all you're getting out of me. Like, I'm not selling. Well, that kind of changed. So now I have a team of 13 now, and I'm a star consultant. I earn the level 3 slingshot incentive. So yeah, I'm able to do a lot now.
I think only 2 people on our team earned the incentive, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I was shocked because I was like, I'd be happy with level 1. And then it just happened. It was like, I don't know. It was fate. So.
And you must have had pretty good volume because you got invited to the top 50 when a few turned it down. So
I did. Because I'm going to Arizona, and it was like literally back to back. I'm like, I'd get off one plane and have to turn around, pack, and get on another. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't do that.
Well, congrats.
Thank you. So for me, Facebook parties are easier. I'm a mom of 2. I have my husband. He travels a lot. So it's just easier for me to do things from home. So Facebook parties, what I find is when you have your hostess or host, you want to make sure you set a time and a date that works best for both of you. Make sure that it's a time that they can be active, engage. They say that we do all the work, which is true to a point. But I think the biggest way to have a successful Facebook party is to coach your host. So once you get your setup, your time and date, just like you would for a home party, I typically have my Facebook party last about 30 minutes. Now, this is how I've been doing it. I'm going to talk about ways that I'm actually going to tweak this, but this is what I've been doing so far, and this is how it's worked. So the role that your hostess plays is you want to find out, why is she hosting a party? Get her wish list, her goals. You want to get her excited for this party, because the more excited your host is, the more they're going to engage and get others excited. If your hostess is just like, yeah, okay, I'll try it, and really not into it, then you don't know the people she's inviting. So how can you get them excited for it? So you want to set a minimum goal. I always try for a very, very minimum 200. I'd say 99.9% of the time, I always hit 200. But I do kind of, when I fill out my little sheet that I give them, I say 500. That's what you want to push them for. So then I go on, I create an event page. I do make it private, but I make her as the co-host. So that way she can invite her friends, and then whoever's invited can invite theirs. I ask them to invite only 50 people because you don't want to send out a massive invite. It's very, I mean, I know how it is for me. I don't want to just get random invites. You want to coach your hostess to talk to these people that she is inviting. Let them know, hey, I'm having this party. You know, it's for Scentsy. This is why I like it. If you're available, I'd love to send you an invite. So 50 people.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
What if they invite more? What do you do at that point?
There's nothing, I mean, if they invite more, they invite more. No big deal. But you want to kind of make it personable. So those that you would invite to your home is who you'd want to invite to your Facebook party. You don't want to go inviting someone that, I mean, let's face it, we all have those friends in our Facebook list. We know them, but we don't talk to them. We don't interact. So it's like, would you invite them to your home? No. So why would you invite them to your Facebook party? You almost want to make it like, you know, it's, I wouldn't call it a privilege, but it's like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? They are something. Like there's a reason why they're invited. So make them feel special that you're actually taking the time to invite them.
Awesome.
Your goal is to get at least 25 RSVPs. Do I always get 25? No, honestly, I don't think I've ever gotten 25. But this is what I also do for my hostess. If they are local, I give them an actual party bag. So I will give them 10 testers, catalogs, order forms, you know, the scent of the month stuff. I always give my hostess a free bar. Typically it's the scent of the month. And that way they can share with those who are not just on Facebook. You know, not everybody has Facebook. So at least they can kind of get orders on their own as well as reaching those who are on Facebook. So what do I post? Typically, I will start posting 5 days before the actual event. And I just post 1 or 2 things a day. You don't want to overload them. You don't want to be salesy. You want to make your posts engaging so that they have to interact. You know, funny things. I do a little point system where, you know, if they invite a friend, if they make a purchase, commenting, liking, and what I do is I keep a tally all through the 5 days, and whoever I usually pick the top 2 or 3, whoever gets the most, you know, I'll give them a free scent circle or a free bar, you know, depending on where they are, where they live and stuff. So you want to make it kind of like an incentive, just like you would for a home party. You typically have like a door prize type thing. So pretty much the same thing. Give them a reason to, I mean, we all like free stuff. We're not going to lie. So as it gets closer, you're going to want to put reminders out there, day before, day of, 30 minutes prior, 1 hour prior. And then when it comes to the event, so this is what I have found works. For me personally, when I do one of the get invited to a party and you have to follow the number of posts, I kind of get lost and I get bored. So for me, on the day, I actually go live on my party. So I pick out some of my top favorite products, and the others that I don't show, I will showcase throughout the 5 days. So the day of the event, I go there, I take a roll call, you know, welcome, how do you know our hostess? And then I'll go live at the time set. So basically you set out a table, your desk, your computer, whatever, and you have your Scentsy products all ready to go. So typically what I do is I use a diffuser, the washer whiffs, our Scentsy Go, our cleaning. I typically just pick one of the cleaning lines, which is the counter clean. because that seems to be our most popular. I've also started showing our all-purpose cleaner because I'm hooked on that for our spring cleaning. That thing is amazing. So those are my two go-tos for that. Laundry, I usually have the laundry soap and the dryer disc. And then I just take a 6-bar stack to kind of show how you can bundle for the $30. So you want to spend most of your time on your top 5 products. Your favorites, you're going to want to talk about the bundle and save. You know, keep it short, simple, but fun. I think that's the biggest thing. You want to make it engaging. You want them asking questions. And then after my live, I go back and I will post the party link for them to shop. Ask them, you know, if you have any questions, let me know. And then I typically keep it open for 24 to 48 hours after the party. I let them know, you know, they can, if they're local, they can save on shipping, they can PayPal, the forms of payment that you take. What else? I mean, that's basically my script of how I go about it. It changes party to party. If your hostess has a certain product that they're in love with or they're trying to earn, you know, I make sure to showcase that. I let them know what they're helping their hostess earn. What else? What else can I say? But now, so that's what I've been doing. But now I kind of want to switch it up. And I think instead of doing one 30-minute live, is go live each day on one product and kind of get in depth with that. 10, 15 minutes, you know, go on, talk about the product. And that way, I don't know if it seems overwhelming to do one full live. Typically it does go over my 30 minutes, but I try and set it for 30, no more than 45. So I'm going to be trying that on my next one that I have booked. So I will definitely update you guys. But this is how I follow things for the past, how long have I been? I'd say the past year is when I really started doing Scentsy and doing my Facebook parties. And this has been, I get a minimum of 200 between the orders that they're collecting outside and the Facebook party. So it's worked. Tons of things on YouTube to look for. Do Google searches on there. That's where I found a lot of, and I don't stick to just one YouTube video. I kind of watch a few and take bits and pieces from each one of what works for me. So that's how I do it.
How do you bring up booking or the opportunity in your Facebook parties? Or do you?
I do. I always let them know that if they do book a party, they get a free half-priced item that they can pick out, but they do not get it until their party. So that I would use the perpetual party reward for.
So you give that to the person booking the party, not the host, not the current hostess?
Correct.
Okay.
That's how I kind of get them. It's like an incentive to want to do it, you know? Because, I mean, the hostess is getting a ton of rewards and stuff like that. I'll throw in an extra, I mean, I probably shouldn't say this, but I do have some things in stock. So I may throw in, you know, an extra bar or scent pack type thing, a warmer. You know, each time it changes. Sometimes when I do my parties, I do offer, you know, if you have a qualifying party, you'll get a free mini warmer. I've done that before and used previous perpetual rewards. You know, if I need to book a party, if I'm not maybe hitting my parties, I will offer that as kind of an incentive for my hostesses to book a party.
And how do you bring up the opportunity?
The opportunity, I always post about it and I always talk about it on the live. I think, which I didn't mention, but the bundle and save, your favorites, your top 5, joining. I always open it up with why I joined. my journey as far as, starting not wanting to be anything, just get my Scentsy, and how it's actually benefited my life and changed the fact that I'm a stay-at-home mama. We're a one-income family. And I do have personal bills of my own that, it's not my husband's job to take those on.
Mm-hmm.
So paying off my personal credit cards and being able to purchase gifts for my husband at holidays and birthdays, without it coming out of our family fund.
Awesome. Trying to think of any other questions I have. I'll probably think of a bunch of questions once we're done. So like I had done a training with the tag team, and they talked a lot about like coaching your hostess and no more than 50 invites, personally inviting people and all that stuff. But I did message, like I did different ways of coaching my hosts. Like I did videos that I had recorded and I would send to them, like with all the information about their party. I did like just like, written posts, all that kind of stuff. And I would still get people that would invite like their whole friend list, like, and then come the party, no one's interested because nobody feels important. Nobody feels like they were actually thought of. And I'm just like, that's why I asked you, I'm like, what do you do when they invite more than 50? Because like that was my main problem was, and I feel like that's why they would fail.
Right, because
no one's important, so they don't want to interact,
Well, I think that's why it's important to kind of get to know your hostess and why are they doing this? Are they doing it as a favor to you, or do they really like Scentsy and want to earn some products? Like what big item do they want? Because if you can figure out where they want to be, it's almost like you can push them and steer them in the direction that they need to go to get that.
Gotcha.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
What I normally do is a party 7 to 10 days, and I tell them just 50. And after 5 days, if not too many have joined or said interested, I then tell them if you feel that you want to invite more after 5 days, then invite, because they can always go back and look at the post. It's always there, or the videos. So I always say, then you can invite maybe another 10 or 15, see how it goes.
Sorry, I'm trying to
It all depends.
No, I know. It's hard. And that's why I kind of tell them, invite people you would invite to your home. Like, would you let Susie that you haven't talked to in, 5 years, you're not even following her on Facebook, would you invite her to your home? So I think that's
That's
important.
a really good like realization for them, because I think when you just say, okay, it's like an online event, they don't feel like that pressure of who they're inviting. But if you put it out that way, that's really good. And that Michelle's idea is also really good, because if somebody if they invited 50 and let's just say 10 of them declined, well, now they have 10 more invitations that they can send out, kind of. That's a really good idea, Michelle.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, so I'm gonna add that to my notes.
I did see a training. I can't remember who it was. I remember Beth inviting me to it, but I don't remember who it was. But she went live every night and talked about different things. And
I feel like I'm gonna try it, because I think it's easier than talking about everything and trying to cram everything into one night,
Well, people interact more with videos too. So
yeah. So I noticed another girl that she works for another direct sales, that's how she runs her parties and stuff. And I talk to other girls who have their own, direct sales companies, and just get ideas, because we're all kind of under the same umbrella. Yes, we all do things differently, but our goal is kind of the same. So to get other ideas, how does it work for you? Like, I was talking to our care group about it, and I don't even know how we got on the subject of it, but he was mentioning it's a Mary Martha company. I guess they sell like home decor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, this girl, you know, my wife had it, and they came to the house, and what she did was she had everyone go around and pick out their favorite item and then explain why did they pick it. So it's like your customers are doing your sales for you.
Yeah.
You know, when you're just so I'm like, oh my gosh, that is such a great idea. So I'm like, I can incorporate that into, you know, everybody go through the catalog and pick out your top favorite item or your top favorite warmer and why, or product, you know? So it is good to network with other companies, especially when you're at vendors events, you know, just to have them be able to get your name out when they're signing up for events. And it's like, hey, we need Scentsy. Oh, I know someone. So networking is so important, I feel like, in this business.
How do you go about getting events? Like, let's say that your calendar is empty. Like, if anyone's watching this training and they're like, they have nothing on their calendar, how do you go about booking those Facebook parties?
The people who buy the most Scentsy, like my high purchasing customers, those are who I go to first.
Okay.
Because they're purchasing so much. And it's like, you know what? I can get you free and half price Scentsy. You love it so much. All you have to do is share it, you know, and kind of get to know your customers. And I think that's another important thing. Get to know your customers so you can then tailor the event. Are they a busy mom, you know, single mom who can't get out, you know, Facebook party would work great. Are they someone who's constantly on the go, involved with their kids, going to events and this and that, likes to socialize a lot? Well, they'd be great for either a couch party or an in-home party, and kind of bring it to light that, hey, did you know you could get free and half price Scentsy just for sharing? Like, that's who I go to first. And then if they're like, oh no, I don't have time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, do you have any recommendations? Do you have any friends that may want to, you know? And I will say, like I've told, I typically put in an order every Monday. That is like my order day, and minimum of 200, all depends on what it is. But with that, where I have a schedule, I know perpetual party rewards. I know what I'm getting for free hostess rewards, like, you know, collecting those orders. So I can kind of use those as an incentive to get hostesses.
Awesome. I like that. I really, really like that because everybody loves free and half price.
Well, and that's just, it's like, exactly. I mean, let's face it, I don't always have the money to do I mean, if I do a half price, it's usually scent circles. I mean, they're cheap. So it's like, okay, and you can always use them.
I know, I do a lot of light bulbs and scent circles.
I didn't even think about doing light bulbs.
Oh, yes.
That's it.
Light bulbs are the first thing to go at any event. Like,
oh, good
literally.
to know.
I always have at least 3 to 5 people come to my booth just because of light bulbs. They end up buying something else.
Do you typically do like the 25 and like, how do you determine what size?
I just buy randomly.
You just, okay.
Yeah, I try to have, like, I'm kicking myself in the rear because I have an event on Saturday and another one the next Saturday, and I have no light. The only light bulbs I have are the colored ones. That's it. And I'm like, I know someone's going to come ask me for light bulbs and I'm not going to have any. But it's okay. I'll order it for you. But I try to have at least 5 3-packs because I always upsell them to the 3-pack. I very, very rarely have someone say, no, I just want one.
Now, for those that
3 for 5.
are like, ooh, was somebody talking? Did I cut somebody off? For those that are like, oh, I just need one, I typically will give it to them for free. I'm like, here, take a light bulb. But when they ask me how much, I'm like, oh, it's $2 for one or $5 for 3. And they always
do. See, and I charge them for the light bulb because you know what? I'm like, you're making me break a pack open, first off. And second,
Yeah.
I was doing that like when I first started, and then I'd have them come back thinking it was going to be free just because I gave it to them. So I was like, nope, sorry. Light bulbs cost me money. And even though they are cheap and I get like the 3-pack for $2.50.
But still,
it's just teaching my customers like there is an order. Like I was talking with Jessie today because I went to her house and I was telling her about like the shipping. I was like, like a lot of people on the director page were asking, how are you talking about the shipping? Like, are you doing shipping? Are you just going to cover the cost and write it off? And I was completely honest. I was like, you know what? Sometimes I don't have the money to cover their shipping. And I would rather be honest with my customers, charge them for shipping, and then if I have the money, be like, hey, you know what? This time I'm going to cover your shipping.
Right.
They appreciate that more than me trying to cover their shipping, and then this time I can't, and they're like, well, why is my bar? I just bought 6 bars last month and it was $32.10, and now you're telling me it's like 33 whatever. What's the difference? And now I got to explain to them, well, I've been covering your shipping and I can't. And so I'm like, I just rather teach my customers the way that it is, and all of them have been very understanding.
I honestly, I have not had anybody complain. I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous. But when I went live and just explained it to them, it's 5%. It's still cheaper than you going on the website and ordering it yourself. So
I used like a couple of different examples. I was like, so on like a $10 order, you're paying 50 cents. And then I did like the bar. I can't remember how much it was, but I did the bar. Then I was like, you guys, on a $100 order, you're paying $5 shipping. I was like, I would love to cover this for you guys, but honestly, I was like, I have to follow Senzie's example, because if they're having to do it, it's because it was affecting their business. And I was like, and it's just part of life. And everybody was like, yeah. And then one girl was like, well, that's why I love Amazon Prime. And I was like, sweetheart, you
have to pay a membership.
I was like, you pay a membership for Amazon Prime, so you're not getting it for free. And she was like, oh yeah, we do pay a monthly fee. I'm like, yeah, I have Amazon Prime. So but I think it's all about attitude. Like, if you're positive about it, they're gonna be positive. But I really like that. Like, I took a couple of notes on the Facebook party. I'm trying to think if I can think of any.
No, I'm like, I wish it was like something fancy and special that I do.
Well, but you have mastered it to work for you, and it's working. Like, I have tried different things, and I'll be honest, like I do a lot of trainings, and when something's not working for me, like I'm like, okay, why is it not working? Like, let's fix this. And for some reason, I just have not been able to master Facebook parties. It just does not work for me. The most I've gotten out of a Facebook party is about 200, but most of the time I have to add my own orders to get it to qualifying. And not that I don't mind doing that, but 2 things. 1, my hostess, if she decides to host again, will not try very hard because she knows I'll have orders to add. 2, I'm losing out on rewards that I could have for myself because of orders that I have collected. So it's really good to see others' perspective and others how they're doing it, to see like when you were talking about like, the coach hosting no more than 25, I'm no more than 50. I'm like, yeah, like that is awesome. But the 25 RSVPs, I'm like, I've never really had that as a goal. I'm like, that's something I could add. Like, maybe I can add an incentive to my hostess. Like, hey, if we get 25 RSVPs, I'll throw in a free hand soap or whatever,
Yeah.
But it's like, it's things that you learn from how other people are doing it. So to you, it's not something fancy, but to us, I'm pretty sure everybody took away something, and now they can.
I think, when you talk about incentives, I know some, especially just starting out, it's like, oh my gosh, I started out with the $99 kit, and it's like they're constant, the bar, you feel like, oh, I have to have this on hand, and I have to have that. And you really don't. But I think when we go and we collect our orders and we place that, you have to have it kind of in the back of your mind, incentives. You can't just think for yourself as far as product. Because let's face it, if I need it, I'll get it. But I like to look at my rewards as far as incentives. What is a good incentive to give some, like you said, the soap? I could do a mini warmer, you know, a 3-pack of bars, sensor, something. I mean, you say free, I mean, they're not expecting a massive warmer. But like for the sales, when we had the flash sale, I stocked up on warmers because I'm like, giveaways for when I do vendor events and stuff, and you need a raffle. Well, I paid like $8 for a warmer, you know?
I know.
So,
I love those $25 baskets, and I'm like, yeah, I paid $8 for that warmer.
it's like, but they don't know.
Nope.
So I'm like, heck, I'm sitting
Flash
on.
sales, rewards. I was thinking about something towards that, and I can't remember what it was. So keep going. I'll come back.
So like just to have that in the back of your mind, I know it gets exciting when you see that reward and it's like, oh, you know, I really want this. I'm not gonna lie, there are some things like I was working for that diffuser and I'm like, once I get a party that's up there, I'm getting that for myself, but I need it for my business. So then it's a tax rate.
I was gonna say also, you know, I love the quote that Orville said about do not spend family's money on Scentsy, spend Scentsy money on family, but you also have to reinvest in your business.
You do.
You can decide what percentage when you get paid you're going to reinvest in your business. It doesn't have to be everything. It doesn't have to be 50%. It could be 10%. You can say, okay, all I can afford is just, you know, if I'm making, and I'm just going to use this number, if I'm making 200, I can only take out 20 for my business. But guess what? 20 almost gets you a 6-pack of bars. $20 can get you 2 counter cleans to give out as gifts or to sell, because then you're going to get commission on those and then you can sell them. So you have to use the flash sales for your advantage. I always stuck up on scent circles for sure. I hardly ever buy bars unless I know someone like absolutely loves them, because honestly, like on the bars, I just never find them like super, super low for the season that we're in. Like they're usually, the flash sale for fall usually has a spring scent and vice versa. So I'm like, I don't like to have that much in stock. I like to have what I'm going to sell at an event for that season. So, but I do use the scent circles because I give those out all the freaking time for like waitresses, people that give me good customer service. Like I sometimes have the girl that, like the other day I was walking out of the school and I was like, you guys like lotion, right? And I just left them a lotion that I had as a tester. I probably had like about half a bottle left, but I'm like, here you go, enjoy it, have a good day. And 2 days later I came in, they're like, oh my gosh, that lotion smells so good. So use that, but reinvest in yourself as well. Like take a percentage from your pay. And if you have a team, what I do is I take part of what I make off of my team to invest on my team.
Yes.
But so like I'm not taking out of my family's pocket. I'm not taking out of my pocket to buy team gifts, to buy incentives for my team. I'm buying it out of what I'm making because of my team. Like I wouldn't be making that money if I didn't have my team. So I don't see it as entirely mine. Yeah, okay, I do training and I take time to look up all the reports and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I know that I would not be where I'm at without my team. So I say, okay, I need postcards. I need team gifts. That's going to come out of this bonus that I just got. And I'm like going to use this amount because this is what I need, you know? So reinvest in your business. Use that to get Facebook parties. And I feel like we should leave them with a challenge just because they need to put this into effect. So how about
a challenge?
Today is what? Thursday?
How
about next Thursday? I want to see how many Facebook parties you guys can book, but let's say at least 3. Just because I know some of us are still new. Some of us might still trying to get our even our starter kits in the mail. So at least 3 by next Thursday, and just keep that ball rolling. Like that ball rolling. And I'm talking about myself too, because I need to get Facebook. I was lucky that I got a Facebook party today. Like the girl, I dropped off a catalog at my friend's salon. She doesn't even do my hair. Like, she's a customer, but my new kid's allergist is like literally right next door. Like, there's like a street in between her salon, a street, like some greenery, and then the office. So I was like, you know what? I'm already in the area. It's not relatively close to my house. I'm going to turn around and drop off a catalog. She wasn't there, unfortunately, but with the whole thing of my grandmother passing away, she reached out to me to say, you know, give me her condolences. And I was like, by the way, did you get the catalog? Because that's me. I always have something on my brain, even when I shouldn't. And she's like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I want. And I'm like, okay, well, just let me know. You know, I'm like, I'm putting in an order in on Friday. And then she messaged me today and she's like, oh, honestly, I have enough for an order pretty much. So can we just do an online link and a Facebook event for a party just in case anybody else needs anything? And I'm like, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
So, and if you need graphics, Makes Sense.
Oh, yeah.
Has amazing. She has like a party in a box album.
I constantly am using her pictures.
Yes. I literally downloaded it today
because she even says she leaves enough space for you to customize and put your address, put your name and stuff. That's what I love about her.
Yes. So look up, I tagged that page today on the team page on one of my lives. I think it was my second live today. So go look it up, join the group, go to her albums and look up Party in a Box. She has everything in there, from like the countdowns to roll call to points to games, everything. We're going to get cut off really soon, so I'm going to make sure I stop the recording. Okay. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for the amazing training, and I will see you guys next week. Hopefully it will. I'm not sure if next week's going to be on Scent Crates, but I do have a couple people that are going to be joining us to talk and train us on different topics. So we will see.